Well, it's Super Sunday and KKR take on CSK. I mean, these two teams, well, they've got 2 wins out of 2 in terms of the resumption of IPL 2021. So it's going to be very, very tasty in terms of viewing. And we have Jarrod to, of course, break it down for us. I mean, it's MS Dhoni versus Owen Morgan. They have their different styles of captaincy. But just on top of your head right now, who do you think could produce a winner in this one?
Oh, I mean, I think you'd have to be silly to go away from Chennai. And what does Crickletic say? What percentage chances to give Chennai?
I'll tell you that in just due course because
I asked you now.
It's going for a slender, believe it or not, 52% CSK. Okay. So not too much in between KKR and CSK. But my first question to you is about the Super Kings, because at the end of the day, have they found their mojo back? We saw them in the last couple of seasons dip form. Have they found the best team? They can bat till number 10. Their bowlers are turning up. They're doing everything right.
Yeah, it's interesting. I see. I'm going to talk about a slightly different team here, but a lot of people are saying that one of the reasons Sunrisers have struggled is that they don't have a lot of fast bowlers. Chennai have a fast bowler in Ngidi and don't really need him. And I think there's so many options that they have, such a varied sort of bowling attack. As you said, the batting all the way down. It's hard to see now how they won't, at the very least, give themselves a chance to win the championship. Something might go wrong, in the final game, or they might have 2 bad games in a row in the finals. But I just don't see how that's possible at the moment. They look like such a team that is so well balanced that they should be in any game and give themselves a really good chance of winning the title.
Yeah, let's see how it really peters out for them, because they have all the elements, like you said. KKR, a side who's, of course, run down RCB, and then they took down Mumbai Indians with that same vigor. Is this the brand of cricket that Brendan McCullum really wants to see? Because we've seen it come to the fore.
Look, they're taking a lot of risks, which they were not doing in the first part of the season. The first part of the season, they were going the other way. They were trying to play as safe as possible. And now they're just like, and they have to. And they got to the point where, they weren't going to make the finals if they didn't shake something up. There's not really, it doesn't really matter if you finish 5th or 7th or 8th, really, does it? So if you are losing, you might as well shake things up, see if you can change things. They've definitely change things. Also, they've just, I has come in and made runs. Sometimes it's as simple as that. One player can change that part of the game. Their bowling is still, what's the best way of putting it? They've got 3 incredible frontline bowlers in their side at the moment, and they've got 2 guys that can go for a lot of runs. They know that going in. They know the batting is their strength, and they seem to have just said to everyone, look, let's just play our shots. Let's just bowl our balls. And maybe attack a little bit more. And that might be what the sort of Brendan McCullum that you're talking about, that sort of influence that you're talking about. But this is the first test, realistically. Mumbai haven't come back after the break very well. RCB haven't come back from the break very well. Chennai have. So we're about to find out, how good they are.
Yeah, we've seen some really intriguing battles in the past when these two have locked horns. One man who stands out invariably is Andre Russell. So will it be Russell mania of sorts out there, because he absolutely loves batting against Chennai Super Kings, and there's always a tussle between him and CSK. So will it be Andre Russell versus CSK, or can we see a more holistic effort this time around?
Look, they'll need their entire team to beat them. Although, to be fair, sometimes Dre Russ is an entire team on his own, isn't he? But I think 2 of the reasons is he's not always brilliant against high pace. And against Chennai, he doesn't face as much high pace. And the other thing is that he's not always bringing it against leg spin, and Chennai doesn't use as much leg spin as perhaps some other teams have. So I wonder if it's just a matchup thing as much as anything when it comes to him. But look, he's a fantastic player. He seems to me to be in pretty good form. Watching him in the IPL at times, seeing the ball well. Maybe not scoring as many runs as he has in other periods, but he seems to be seeing the ball really well. His knees, I know this is a little thing, but his knees seem very good at the moment. He's got no cartilage in either knee, and some days he's just going to wake up and it's going to be very stiff and he's going to struggle to perform with bat or ball. Right at the moment, he seems to be, flying through the crease when he's bowling. That probably should help his batting as well. So it's fascinating to see how he goes in this game.
Yeah, and he's also been taking a couple of wickets, which will always do his batting good. And it's a real riveting one, this one, when we take a look at it on paper, because Chennai won one game batting first and then won one game chasing. Likewise with KKR. So something's got to give here. Let's see what gives in the predictions between Jarrod and the robot this time around. Before that, we're asking a strange one in terms of the fan goodie bag question for this one. Who's going to take the most LBWs, or who's going to get the most LBWs? I mean, that's a rare mode of dismissal anywho. So it might be just a random shout out, but let us know in the comments below. Jarrod's kind of scratching his head on this right now, saying, what? How can that be even a question right now? But
no, I like it. I'm going to go Jadeja. There we go.
You're going to go Jadeja?
Yeah, most
right.
LBWs. Book it in.
Jadeja, it is from Jarrod. So if you guys want to copy his answer, feel free to do so, or just be original at the end of the day. Right, batsman, Criclytics predicts Ruturaj Gaikwad has gone for the man in form. It thinks he might do the job again, but there's some others in the mix. Faf du Plessis, the law of averages states that he's due. What about Venkatesh Iyer, not to forget, or even, for example, Rahul Tripathi? Sorry, Jarrod, go ahead.
There's a few players there, isn't there? I am going to. I feel like Venki Iyer has to actually fail. He has to not make a big score at a certain point. So I want to pick him, but I also don't want to jinx him. I'm going to go Shubman Gill. I think he's been seeing the ball quite well. I think a lot of the pressure has been taken off him by having another opener come in and just smash the ball everywhere. I'm a big fan of Tripathi as well, but not always a big run scorer. Tripathi, quite often consistently sort of lower end scores, but very fast. But yeah, I think Shubman Gill is my go-to. Whereas Chennai, I almost feel like they've been spreading their runs out a little bit more. So sometimes it's harder to have one individual player play well there, although they've got a lot of guys who are looking good.
Yeah, Shubman Gill's a good shout at the end of the day, because Criclytics had him in the pecking order, but second. So good shout there from Jarrod. And bowlers, I thought Jarrod might have this sort of shout because he went for Lockie Ferguson last time around, but this time Criclytics has gone for Lockie Ferguson. Are you going to concur with the machine or go someone else?
That's quite interesting that they've gone with him. So no, I probably won't go with Ferguson in this particular game. I think I'm going to go with Chakravarti. I think they're going to try and use him a little bit more in the middle. I think they're going to, take a punt continue to take a punt, maybe with Andre Russell up front. Lockie might bowl one or two up front. And I think Chakravarti in the middle could do a little bit of damage to this lineup. There's a few players that I think he matches up quite well against in this particular lineup. So and I also think there's a couple other guys who are guys like Suresh Raina and Moeen Ali will really attack him. So I'm going to go Chakravarti on that one. What's the way of putting it? There's a possibility with Kolkata that we've seen their format work the best. They brought the young guy in who's made the new guy in who's made all the runs. Andre Russell took a bunch of wickets in one of the games. Prasid Krishna has come off in a couple of games. In the game he didn't, the other bowlers stepped up. There's still a lot that can go wrong with all of that, and they could easily lose. I just think against the better opposition, they're going to struggle there.
Yeah, and let's see how it really pans out, because if they lose this to CSK, they take on Delhi next, if you really were curious about the schedule. So we've just put it out there. But we appreciate your time, of course, Jarrod.